Hi, everyone. Colin DeCheshin here with Heads Up Plant Protectants. Today, I'm going to be answering a question that was sent in. How is Heads Up different than the fungicide seed treatments that are already on my seed? It's a great question. I'm enthusiastic about this question and to share the answer with you. Let's take a further look. So to start off, we have to consider what a fungicide seed treatment is. Fungicide seed treatment is generally based on a molecule or an isomer of a molecule and is a synthetic chemical that was created in a lab. Heads Up, on the other hand, is a biological product and it's non-microbial. So there's microbial products like inoculants or bacterias. And Heads Up is considered a non-microbial because it's made from plant extracted chemistries. And the product is classified as a reduced risk biopesticide through the EPA. When we think about fungicide seed treatments, generally, per their labels, they are effective for the first 14 to 21 days of the growing season. The idea is to help the plant get out of the ground, get the plant set up for success, and protect against invading pests around the root structure of the plant. Heads Up, on the other hand, offers a full season of activity against pests and works through a different mode of action, which we'll touch on next. Fungicides, by definition, they work to kill or inhibit a pathogen to stop that pathogen from attacking the root structure of the plant. That's fungicide seed treatments. Now, Heads Up, on the other hand, is not fungicidal. We don't work to kill or inhibit any specific pathogen, but Heads Up works through a mode of action called systemic acquired resistance, sometimes coined as SAR. And this mode of action actually works with the genetics of the variety. We work to turn on and trigger and express particular defense-related genes. That's a long-lasting full season effect. Fungicide seed treatments, one of their downfalls is they're prone to and have potential for resistance issues over time, meaning that the fungal pathogens such as Fusarium or Rhizoctonia that are the invading pathogens attacking your plant can become immune to these certain chemistries. Heads Up, on the other hand, has no known fungal resistance issues because Heads Up is strictly plant extracted chemistries we've taken from pharmaceutical purposes and moved to crop protection. And these chemistries are not active on the particular disease pathogen, but they're active at turning on these defense pathways or expressing these defense-related genes within the variety of soybean that you're growing. Fungicide seed treatments typically being only effective for the first 14 to 21 days of the growing season are especially effective. And you want to make sure you have a good fungicide base on there if you're going to be planting into cool and wet soils on your farm. Heads Up, on the other hand, being a full season product, is going to help with late season diseases such as sudden death syndrome and white mold. And you're going to see the most effects out of Heads Up when diseases are present. That's when you'll see the visual differences, the reduction in severity and incidence in the canopy, and it's complementary to the fungicides that are going to help get the plant out of the ground. Heads Up's going to provide additional protection for the duration of the season. Fungicide seed treatments, they typically, if you look at a label, are a blend of products, 2 or 3 fungicides in the mixture. And that's because fungicides usually are very specific in that they target one or a few fungal pathogens. Heads Up, on the other hand, is a broad spectrum seed treatment in that we're working with the genetics of the plant, and whatever that variety innately has some defensive ability to fight off, we enhance that ability. Fungicide seed treatments being synthetic chemistries, I like to call them hard chemistries. They do require the proper PP&E for safe handling. They can be toxic. You should always wear gloves and goggles and follow label instructions. Where a product like Heads Up, being a natural and naturally derived plant extract, does require PP&E, but is generally non-toxic or non-corrosive. It's generally a safe product to handle. Fungicide seed treatments, I have here that they're a staple, and that's because most seed, I think it's about 80% of seed that goes out the door into US farms every year, gets some level of fungicide insecticide on it. Fungicide insecticide seed treatments run $10 or more per acre, so they are a high cost add-on. Where Heads Up is an economical upgrade. Heads Up can be added to your seed for just a few dollars per acre and make a second mode of action, offering many benefits to your fungicide seed treatment base. Now the question is, what is more important, a fungicide seed treatment or a biological like Heads Up? And the answer is both Heads Up and fungicides address specific and certain issues on your farm. Fungicides are important for early season, for cool and wet soils, and for targeting particular pathogens that are going to attack your plant early on. And Heads Up is important for late season diseases like white mold, sclerotinia, and sudden death syndrome that don't occur until late in the year into the growing season. So together, they are complementary in their modes of action. My recommendation is you look at your field history, always read the product labels and look for diseases listed on the labels, and make an educated decision for your farm, remembering that disease cycles last multiple years and are hard to break. So if you're in a corn-soy rotation, you definitely want to look for a fungicide seed treatment to get you started, and Heads Up can be the added level of protection to get your crop through the duration of the growing season. So now if you're already using Heads Up, you might be asking, well, what am I getting in my seed care package when I use Heads Up? What is the additional benefit? I think we just covered the benefits, but in summary, insecticide seed treatments work for diseases like Fusarium, Rhizoctonia, and Pythium. Heads Up is going to add a second mode of action for those diseases, Fusarium, Rhizoctonia, and Pythium, but you're also getting additional protection in your seed care package when you add Heads Up for white mold suppression and the suppression of sudden death syndrome, which is a strain of Fusarium. Altogether, a more robust, more complete package. Lastly, you might not know this, but Merschman, Becks, Proharvest, and Maizex seeds, if you grow any of the seed from those companies, they all offer Heads Up as an enhancement and a standard part of their seed care program.